Good morning, I guess, right? Just woke up about 40 minutes ago. I sleep late on the weekends. I wake up around 8 a.m. Trying to catch up with sleep, you know what I'm saying? I gotta start taking naps in the daytime. But I don't got a whole lot of battery, man, so I'm gonna get right to it. It's over for some men, bro. You know, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because some guys are gonna need to be a millionaire just so females can deal with them, man. Some guys are gonna need that much success to have a better dating life. And some guys are not gonna change. We got that guy, he didn't succeed, man. He stayed the same throughout his whole entire life. He never changed. He never said, wait a minute, I'm struggling here. I gotta go out and get me a high education or something like that. Or I gotta go to Hollywood to become an actor because I'll be here stuck in this lifestyle of struggling for the rest of my life. He didn't take time out to think like, damn, this could last until I get old and gray. So he's not gonna change. You really want to change, you're gonna have to, start changing. Well, being unsuccessful, that's not gonna hurt. That's not gonna help. You know. So until he changes and slows down and say, you know what, whatever I'm doing right now, it's not working. Let me just start going to school. Let me go to Hollywood and become an actor or a comedian or something. Let me do something that's gonna bring women my way and I don't have to do much. You feel what I'm saying? He's not thinking that way, bro. He's not thinking like, let me start planting seeds for the future instead of thinking about right now. Let me act a fool in public and be upset and mad at the world because I'm not getting laid. Let me do that. But he's not taking not taking a look at the bigger picture, man. He's wasting time. So last time I checked in with He Succeed was back 7 years ago, man. Back with me and my ex-girlfriend. No, 8 years ago. Back when my ex-girlfriend moved, me and my ex-girlfriend was around. Oh, what was it? Did we break up? I think it was when we broke up. I started listening to He Succeed or something like that. I know it was I know it was around that time, man. You know what I'm saying? So, sorry, I was fucking distracted, bro. Anyway, uh, you're not looking at the bigger picture. If you struggle in a certain area, you gotta work on yourself. That's what I'm doing right now, man. I saw the struggle. You feel what I'm saying? I saw the struggle, and I, you know, decided to say, hey, man, there's something going on right now with this. You know what I'm saying? I gotta fix something because there's something wrong with it. You know. I slowed down and thought about what was really happening. Oh, we got sirens and shit, man. Come on, man. That was a big accident right there. Wow. That was another accident right there, man. Boy, it's been some crazy accidents happening, man. For real. Right there in front of me. You're supposed to slow down when you hear a siren or whatever. And you're supposed to come to a stop. She rammed that dude from the back. Pay attention. Damn. People are fucking stupid, bro. You saw that the man had to slow down because of the sirens. So why didn't you slow down too? You wasn't paying attention. It's your fault. You gotta pay, your insurance gotta pay for that shit. I think he's hurt because he hasn't got out yet. What's up with it? What's up? You know, Captain Commander, what's up with it? Well, you know what? I saw that I was struggling in the date market, so I slowed down and thought and said, you know what? I got to chase this bag because I can continue to, like, you know, struggle for the rest of my life. You know, if I don't do something about it, the struggle can last. So let me take time out and chase this bag real quick so I won't be in this situation for the rest of my life. So a lot of guys not thinking like that. That's the reason why some guys are finished, bro. That's why some guys are not gonna procreate. They're not gonna have families. Some men are not gonna be able to do that. And they're focusing on how bad it is instead of focusing on the money, man. And then I'm getting older too. I'm prepping for old age myself. You know? Wait. Yeah, so I'm looking at this accident right now, man. Shit. One of my reasons why I struggle is because of my age. That's one of my reasons. With older women, I don't really struggle in that department. Women who are like 40 and 50, I don't have that struggle right there. That's an easy picking for me. Where I struggle is with young women. You feel what I'm saying? So I saw that as I got older. I started seeing that young females slowly, gradually, stop fucking with me after a while. You feel what I'm saying? So I said, oh man, let me get my bread up. I gotta work on myself, man, so I can get back into the good grace with young females. Let me do what I gotta do to attract. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna get worse as the years go by. That's what my homeboy said. My homeboy said a while back that, we're gonna have another accident. People don't know how to drive, man. I started seeing the struggle, and the struggle was real. So I made adjustments. Chased the bag first. And some guys are not doing that. They see that they're struggling, and they're not making adjustments. They're not saying, I haven't had this and this for like a couple of years now, and I haven't had that, in a minute. So I'm gonna make adjustments, man, and start chasing this money, so I can be, so I won't be in a situation for the rest of my life. Some guys, what they do is they let 1 year go by, then they let 2 years go by, 3 years go by. You feel what I'm saying? And they don't do anything. What they do? They play video games, smoke weed, drink alcohol, a whole lot. They keep coping and not doing nothing. They don't take no steps to chasing the bag or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't take any steps to change anything. So the years go by, and then they become like just straight up just mentally destroyed, or they stay in a situation. They don't do anything. They don't change. And if you want success, man, you're gonna have to change your ways. And some motherfuckers are not willing to do that. Not even for getting more women. They don't think it's worth it. Well, I don't really feel sorry for you too much, man. If you feel like you don't want to change, just for the sake of getting more women in your life, if you don't want to build or nothing like that, then don't come out crying talking about, man, I can't get no more women, man. This is over. It's over for me, man. Don't come crying, because I tried to tell you, like get on your grind, get on your purpose. You feel me? What's up with a Joey Finglish? Don't fucking waste more years going by. As you can see, this whole entire year went by quick. We're almost at the end of the year, bro. We're almost at the end. Halloween and Thanksgiving is about to come back around again. So, the years are going by quick. And a lot of guys they decide not to do anything. They don't want to go to school. That's too hard for them. But I'm like, look, you got to challenge yourself somehow, man. Some guys don't even want to stay persistent chasing jackpots. They don't even want to do that. I said, all you got to do is stay with the smaller jackpots, and you'll have a better chance of hitting something. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers, they don't stay persistent with scratchers. I know this one guy, he won $1 million. He comes around here all the time, bro. He's still pinching off his million. He ain't spent it all, but he's pinching off his $1 million, man. His $1 million jackpot he won a while back. No. But he stays persistent with the scratchers. He plays every single day. I think he spends about $20 a day on scratchers, man. $20 a day, and he buys them on a regular, and he wins every now and then. Like he said, he won like 30 grand, like about like last year ago. You know what I'm saying? And one time he won $1 million because he was persistent with his plan, man. You feel what I'm saying? But only the guys that keep trying, are gonna win, man. The guys who just sit back and let the years go by, man, they're gonna lose, man, big time. And then they'll go to their graves or be on their deathbed wishing that they would have changed their ways. You know, when I see people get old and alone, man, that petrifies me, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I see motherfuckers getting old and alone, they don't got no kids, they ain't got no wife, they ain't got no girlfriend. Man, I don't want that to happen to me, man. There's a couple of guys in here that's alone, bro. They come into Starbucks, they totally invisible to women. I mean, at least I'm still kind of visible, and because I'm not old yet. But some dudes are completely invisible, and they stay poor their whole entire lives. They don't make adjustments. They don't make adjustments, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like Mayweather when he's fighting in the ring. If he get caught a couple of times, he gonna make adjustments to make sure he don't get caught again. Like when he got caught by Sugar Shane Mosley, right? Sugar Shane Mosley rocked him twice in that second round. Guess what Mayweather did? He made sure he didn't get caught again like that by staying on the outside and not trying to slug with that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? He boxed that motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? Because Mayweather, he was too much on the inside on a power puncher. That's not how you supposed to fight a power puncher. You're supposed to stay on the outside and let him come in, bop him a couple times, step to the side, stay away from him. Box that motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? So he made sure that he made adjustments. He made sure that he didn't get caught again. Some motherfuckers, they keep doing the same thing over and over again, which causes them to get knocked the fuck out. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you know you ain't supposed to be on the inside. You got knocked the fuck out playing around, man. And those dudes, they lose when they can't make adjustments. When something is going wrong, they ain't gonna make adjustments. Like me, I started to struggle when I got over age 30. I remember there was a slight like change in the air. I knew it. I was like, God damn, I ain't getting the same type of bitches I used to get, man, or the same amount or something. Something changed. I'm not getting that many bitches like I used to. And then the years kept going by and the shit kept getting worse. You know what I'm saying? And then I got to age 40 and I was like, damn, this is whack. I was overweight. I lost the weight, started using enhancements, but I noticed I was missing something. That money, you ain't got your money right. So I said, oh, okay, let me start chasing the bag instead. So what I did was I stopped going to bars and clubs. Now the pandemic helped that, okay? I stopped going to bars and clubs automatically. So then I started chasing the bag, okay? Because I saw that this situation is gonna get worse. You know, being able to attract women with just looks is not gonna last. It's already hard enough already. I'm 45. It's already hard enough to be out here trying to attract with just my looks. I'm talking about with young females. You know, those are the ones you want. You want the young ones. You know, women who are like 15 years, 20 years younger than you. You want them. You know what I'm saying? And from here on out, I can see that it's getting harder. So right now, I'm prepping, for the future. That's why I've been on this grind for like the last like 5 years, because I see that I need to get this bag. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of guys, they don't think like that. The over guys, they don't think like that. They what they do is they watch TV, like they do simple shit. You know, they drink a whole lot of alcohol to cope with, without being on the grind. I drink alcohol too, man, but I'm still on the grind though. I'm drinking alcohol while I'm on the grind. You feel what I'm saying? But a lot of guys, they just drink alcohol. They don't grind. They don't do nothing. They don't even enroll in nothing, bro. They just, you know what I'm saying? They're not trying to become actors, doctors, lawyers, all the professions that make a lot of money. They're not trying to do that. To them, that's too hard. I'm like, bruh, it's only a portion of your life that you got to dedicate yourself to. It's not going to last forever. But they don't think like that, They think that a magical fairy is going to come out of the sky and drop a woman off at their house. That's not going to happen, bro. us, men, we don't get that privilege, man. We are the builders. We are the providers, So you got to work on being a provider, man, if you ain't getting women into your life, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing that can save you. That's the only thing that saved Kevin Hart. That's the only thing that saved Seal. Seal, the guy who came out with that Rose song, the Rose in the Wind or some shit like that. That's the only thing that saved him, man. His success. Because his face is jacked. I ain't got no food for y'all. I'm talking to the seagulls that's coming around. They want food. So, if you're noticing that you've been struggling in the dating market for a couple of years and things are not like what they used to, or things have been the same your whole entire life, you feel me? Like, if you feel like that this thing can get worse in the dating market with you and shit like that down the stretch, you got to start prepping now. Start making adjustments. The first thing you need to do is step towards that bag, meaning that take a step in that direction. Whatever you got to take that first step. You feel me what I'm saying? Either it's through school or chasing jackpots like me, or you got to take that step, like, or just going to Hollywood, becoming a comedian or actor. Once you take that first step, then everything will be okay. You just got to take that first step in that direction. Some dudes are not going to do that. That's how I know a lot of guys are finished, because they'll stay the same year after year, year after year. Before you know it, they're going to become an incel that goes around, shoots up people, or you're going to act a fool in public, like what's his name, Heaton Secede. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a crash out or whatever. It's like, yeah, because throughout the whole entire years, Heaton Secede, he never took that first step to get on the ground with the money, man. You feel what I'm saying? He never took that first step. I've been following him. Well, I stopped following him. He stopped uploading on the regular. But I remember it was like 8 years ago. Bro, in that 8-year stretch, he could have been a doctor by now. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a doctor. He could have been a high-paid one too by now. He could have been rolling in a Porsche right now. But instead, he didn't do nothing throughout them 8 years. Okay? I think it was me and my girlfriend were breaking up, or we he didn't succeed. Let me see. No, 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 no. Um, that was when me and my girl had broke up. That's when I started to follow He didn't succeed. Yeah, that's what it was. Cause I was fat and I was getting out. I was out of shape and shit. You feel me? You know. And I noticed that women wasn't fucking with me, man, when I put on weight. You feel what I'm saying? I noticed that. I noticed that women did not want to fuck with me, bro. So I made adjustments. I started exercising, bro. You know what I'm saying? And anytime I put on weight, women don't like it, bro. They like right now. I'm not gonna eat nothing. I'm fasting. We're not gonna eat nothing until like noon. I'm gonna go work out and shit later on, man. Just to keep my body fat percentage at a respectable percentage. You feel what I'm saying? But I make adjustments when females don't like something, bro. Like they don't like the way I look. I make adjustments. I lose weight. I work out, and I do attract. Nowadays, I still attract something, but it's not what I like. You guys are talking about with Hellcat, bro. Do you got options? Do you got options? I think one of the subscribers last night, and I was a little bit drunk last night, but he was like, Killcat, you got options? Do you got? Yeah, I got options, but it's not the options that I like. You feel what I'm saying? I get approached by a female at Starbucks. Sub 5 stalker was throwing my car into oblivion, basically. Um, throwing coffee on my car into oblivion. You know, I kept on trying to run away from her, man, and it's just like my options are not good, like not like how I like it anyway. I'm not being approached by women that I find attractive. I'm being approached by women that I don't find attractive. So, you know, and these are below average women, by the way. They're gonna approach you. These below average women, they're gonna approach you, bro. They're gonna try to, you know, cause you are above them in looks. Your eye area is better than theirs. Your lip area is better than theirs. They're gonna approach you. You know what I'm saying? Like this one girl over here, man, that just opened up the pizza plot, the pizza spot. Uh, was it Pizza Guys? You know what I'm saying? I could tell she liked me, but her eye area is inferior to mine. You know what I'm saying? She got round eyes, big round prey eyes. You know, females can get away with prey eyes, but I can see that. I can see why she would be attracted to me because I'm above her in looks. Now, would I fuck her? Hell yeah, I would. At this point, she ain't fat. She's around a 4 in looks. Yeah, I would hit that. You feel what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying about it being over for a lot of guys, it's the fact that a lot of guys are not making adjustments when they see something that's wrong in their life. Or they see something that's missing or whatever. They don't make adjustments, so they keep getting hit with that same uppercut every single year. You know what I'm saying? You know? So you got to start changing for the better, man, and that's what I'm doing, man. I ain't doing the same thing I used to do. Go to bars and clubs and chase women for what? Most of the times I come up with a fatty or with a female that I'm really not that attracted to. You feel what I'm saying? What time is it? Oh yeah, we gotta end this live, boy. Gotta charge this phone, then we gotta work out. But like I said, man, a lot of guys is they don't make any adjustments, so they let year after year go by, and life is short, man. I'm half life right at this point, man, and it ain't getting easier to attract women. It's not getting easier with the physical. You feel what I'm saying? Even though I'm still physically fit, I ain't old yet. You know what I'm saying? But it's getting harder every year that goes by. So since it's getting harder every year that goes by, I got to start getting ready for them days where, you know, when them days are the hardest, like 55, 60. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm prepping for those years because they're gonna come around. Another decade or so, I'll be 55, and I don't want to be in the same situation, that I am right now at 55. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of guys don't think like that. They think if something is too hard, back away from it. If it's too challenging, don't do it. You know, uh, school is too challenging. Stay away from school. I don't want to do that. Or they think, oh, going to Hollywood, man, that means I got to go out there and live on top ramen and hot dogs, you know, and peanut butter sandwiches and spaghetti and meatballs until I make it. Yeah, you do. You feel what I'm saying? That means I got to show up to every, you know, every audition and stuff. That means I got to remember things. I got to remember my lines. Yeah, you do. Or you're going to be in that situation forever, man. You feel what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to do that. I don't got no passion for acting. I said, what type of passion do you got? You know, I got a passion for numbers, man. You feel what I'm saying? I got a passion for that. What you got a passion for? You ain't got no passions? You don't like doing stuff? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you ask these questions and then they like, I don't know. You know, so they make years go by. I mean, they let more years go by. Many years go by, and then they snap. Don't waste time, bro. Society punishes men for wasting time. I know that. Oh, I noticed that. You feel me? Like, you sit back, you do nothing, you get punished. It's called isolation, bro. You know, you get punished for isolation. You know, you get punished for putting on weight. If I put on weight, man, I'll get punished. You know, by society, bro, and by females. I can't afford to put on any type of no weight at all. I can't afford to gain weight, so I stay exercising, man. Now it's getting harder to lose weight, but I'm not fat like I was back in 2017. You know, but my thing is, when something ain't going right, you gotta make adjustments. You gotta change, really. You feel what I'm saying? And change is hard. To go from not being a school guy to being a school guy, that's a hard thing to do, especially if you've been living, without being a school guy for 34 years, like he used to see, you know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden he goes from just hanging out at the house doing nothing to doing homework and studying every single night. That's gonna be a hard transition for him to do that. But in his heart, in his mind, he gotta realize that, hey, I gotta do something. I gotta find something I'm passionate about, and I gotta stick with it until I get my break. It don't have to be school, but it has to be something that's gonna bring in the ducats, man, because you can be trapped in that situation for the remaining years of your life. You already been trapped in that situation for 34 years. You gonna let another 34 years go by without doing anything, without making any changes? I had to make adjustments, man, myself, man. It was hard to go from what was I doing before I was doing numbers? Forgot what I was doing, man. No, I was a bar hopper for a long time. You feel me? I was a bar hopper, and it took a while for me to calm down, man. The pandemic helped me out too, man. To go from being a bar hopper to a number chaser. I chase numbers. You feel what I'm saying? With the lottery and shit. It took a lot of getting used to. But after a while, once you force yourself to do it and you keep doing it, it'll get easier and easier as time go by, man. So you could go from a guy that don't really like school that much to a guy that loves school and love to learn and everything. You know what I'm saying? But you got to take that first step. The first step is enroll. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared of no school, man, because you're using your brain to make money, man. That's all it is. You go to school to make money. That's what school is about. That's why, Mark Zuckerberg, he dropped out of college, man, because there's no need to go to school, man. He got Facebook. That's why, James Brown, he didn't even finish high school, bro. He didn't need to finish high school. He had a natural talent, a gift. You know what I'm saying? And he stayed rich his whole entire life, man. That's why Baby can talk like a goddamn illiterate motherfucker and get away with it, because he got that music talent. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't need to go to school, bro. When Baby came out, remember that years ago when he was talking about what he said, put some respect on my name, and then he came into that radio station. What's the first thing he said? He was like, "Stop playing with y'all. Stop playing with me, y'all. All three of y'all." Boy, he said all three of y'all. He sound illiterate like a motherfucker, bro. But he can get away with it because he got talent. He makes money off his talents. So when you're talented, man, you can make money off your talents. Some of you guys are probably really, really talented, but you haven't even tried yet. You know what I'm saying? You haven't even tried. You haven't even tried none of your talents at all. You haven't explored your talent. You don't know your niche. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't try. My talent in the future is gonna be numbers. I'm gonna be hitting jackpots left and right. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so you guys have a good day, man. I gotta go charge this phone up. I got 20% left on this phone. The ambulance just pulled up to that accident that just happened. So unless some guys change and get that bag, they'll be stuck in that situation forever. He needs to see he'll never get out until he get the bag. That's it. You guys have a good day. I'm out.